Okay. Jeez. I am here. Um, looks like I'm live. Okay. So, I apologize for being a little bit late today. My kids are home, so things are a little crazy. But I am here, and also I just uh Facebook was giving me a hard time, so I went live, turn it off. So hopefully everyone sees this and can see me and can jump on so I can have some people live here. Okay, so today there's a few bits of information that the guides were giving me about just stuff for us all to be aware of in the coming week and especially the coming months that all of these big energies are happening, right? And I've been talking about this a lot in my energy forecast, basically like from the summer onward. But there's definitely a speeding up or an acceleration of energies happening on the planet right now. um, and there's a lot of, like, we saw obviously Facebook go down, and it still seems like Facebook is acting a little bit weird. um, so there's definitely a lot of weird things going on. And I think the energies that we can feel kind of reflect that. So there's a few things I want to talk about today. And then I also want to chat a little bit about my event on Sunday, which is the Pleiadian imprint for the new way of living. And even as I'm like saying those words, I have all of this energy moving through my body around it. It is going to be a powerful event, a powerful transmission, but also there's going to be a lot of takeaways for you around how you can really tap into this energy and use it to engage with the world completely differently, because that's what I have been really guided to do, especially in the last like month or so, is really start to talk about how we really start to do things differently, how we dismantle the old programming, and how we really start to create a new way of living on this planet. And the way that we really do that is by actually changing the way that we live, right? And this for me is really on like a deeper energetic level. Like, how do we actually shift the way that we are aware of our own energy and work with our own energy so that we can really start living in a completely different way where miracles are the norm, manifestation is easy, and we're really living with a lot in alignment with who we truly are and what we're meant to do. Because when we do that, things just start to happen for us so easily that we don't even need to really try to manifest anything, because things just start happening really organically and easily for us. So, one of the biggest things that the guides were showing me this week as far as energy goes is around the words that they're saying is greater access. So, what they're saying here is that we now have greater access, not only to our own gifts and our own connection to the other realms, but we also have greater access to the things that we really need to shift and heal and change in order to have greater access to our gifts and abilities. So, what they're saying right now is like we have greater access to information. And I don't mean information like that you find on Google or anywhere really other than within yourself. So, what they're really saying here is we have greater access to information within ourselves. And what that means is, like, I was noticing this week when I was doing client sessions, is I was even able to pick up on things within people, with clients say I've been working with for months now. Like, in this past week, I've been able to pick up on things within them, and they've been able to pick up on things within them that we haven't had access to before. Whether it was something with a past life, or it was an ancestral thing, or something that I wasn't able to see before and they weren't able to see before, because I'm noticing that we now have like greater access to the information within us. And that includes our psychic abilities, our telepathic abilities, our spiritual gifts. So, all of these things are coming online in a really, really, really big way. So, this is huge. And this is an energy that we're going to be seeing building and growing and expanding more and more and more and more as we, move into this week, but also the coming months, right? And especially as we move into the new year, because I think I already mentioned this, but December is going to be a whopper, a doozy of a month. It's going to be really intense because things are really going to start shifting in a big way. And it's kind of exciting, but it's also like, holy shit, it feels a little bit like it's going to be like a roller coaster. What do you do with this information, right? Well, one of the things, first of all, is to really just start to tap into it. So, again, I'm going to go back to something that the guide showed me a few months ago, which was around creating that energetic silo. And what that means is, if you didn't see my video about this, is really creating time and space for yourself to be silent and not have any input from anything, and just like put a covering on your eyes, lay down and go within and notice the information that you're getting, notice what's coming up and really be with that. And then additionally get support around like bouncing things off of other people, or telling somebody, whether you're working with a coach or somebody that supports you, um bouncing that information off of them, because I guarantee they'll be like, oh my God, something similar happened to me, or oh my God, this happened. And you're going to be able to, when you do that, it's such a great way to be able to trust the information that's coming through and not think that it's just random or you made it up. Because that's a huge thing that happens if we're doing things on our own and we don't talk to people about it and we don't get support. We can convince ourselves that we're just making it up. Okay, so there's that. The second thing that is coming through really strongly that they showed me is about dismantling programming. So, because we have greater access to information right now, the other thing we have a greater ability to do is recognize and dismantle programming. And this is huge. This is actually a lot of what the Quantum Accelerator is going to be about, is really like dismantling all the old rules, all the old ways of doing things, and like questioning all of it and being like, wait, why do I think I need to do this? Or why am I telling myself this story that this is how it is? Like, no, we get to create how it is. So right now, you have an even greater ability to dismantle programming and to really be able to see it for what it is, instead of thinking it's real or like this is how it is. And really being able to be like, oh wow, wait, that's actually just a program that's running from my ancestral line, from society, from culture, from the media, right? Like, is this really real? Is this even mine? Like, do I even believe this? Or is it just a program that's unconsciously running that I can now say bye bye to? So there's a really big push this week, especially, and moving forward, to be able to do that in a more easy and graceful way. Whereas before, it could kind of feel like overwhelming or confusing, or like, oh my gosh, I don't even know where to start with all of this. Like, now you're going to have a greater ability and greater access to being able to discern and being able to recognize what is a pattern or what is a program and what's actually authentically you and authentic to your soul's blueprint. So that's going to be a really big theme for this week and moving forward is it's going to be a lot easier for you to recognize this programming and say no to it. So that's really, really exciting. Okay, cool. I just hope I'm actually live because Facebook is acting really weird. Okay, anyway. So the next thing they're showing me is the word responsibility. So responsibility to me means like, well, we all know what that means. Because the level to which you are able to take responsibility for all outcomes in your life, every outcome, whether it's good, bad, whether you think it has nothing to do with you at all, whether you think this person in your life is doing something crazy and it has nothing to do with you, the more you can take responsibility for the way that you called that in on an energetic level, the more you're going to be able to master your own energy. So they're showing me that it's really, really, really important right now to be able to take full responsibility for all outcomes in your life, because the more you can really do that on a feeling level, like on a deeper visceral level, instead of just like intellectualizing it and being like, yeah, I'm responsible for everything, I create my reality. Like, great, you can say that, but are you feeling that? Are you experiencing that? Are you embodying that? And that's what this message is about, is the importance right now of taking that full responsibility of all outcomes and all results that you're seeing in your life, because that's what's going to really give you, it's going to help you be able to harness the powerful energy that's available to you right now. So that's really, really, really important. Okay, and then the other thing they're showing me is trust. And this is really big, and I know that I talk about this a lot, but it's so important to trust yourself and what you feel and believe to be true over anything else. That's so important right now. And also, like, kind of touching on what I said before about like convincing yourself that you're making something up, or you are, you know, it's random or it's coming out of nowhere, right? I'm going to tell you a funny story that happened to me just yesterday, which goes to show like this is something I'm working on too. I am not perfect at this. So I was in a reading yesterday. I did an Akashic Records reading yesterday with a client, and they showed me in the very beginning of the reading, they showed me that this client was supposed to start a podcast. And for some reason in my mind, like, I didn't want to say that. I didn't want to tell her that because my ego self, like my third dimensional self, was like, oh, that's so like cliche. Like, everyone starts a podcast. Like, don't tell her that. She's not going to think that that is like pertinent information or something. So I didn't say it, even though it was very strongly shown to me. But of course, I didn't trust that I was supposed to tell her that, and I didn't. And then, of course, later on in the session, it came up that she's been really feeling very drawn to start a podcast, but she's been judging it and saying like, "Oh, everybody does that." So here we go. I got all of the information, but of course, I dismissed it and I didn't say it when it was actually really pertinent to this woman. So that just goes to show that trusting the information you receive is so important. And not only that, but trusting what you know to be true for yourself and not getting caught up in all of the like riffraff, so to speak, of what's going on the planet, whether it be, just events happening on the planet, or even like the spiritual community. Like, sometimes there's so much information and emotional hooking going on that it can be hard to stand firmly in what you believe to be true for yourself, regarding anything that's going on right now. And that's really obviously want to honor yourself and do what's right for yourself, but it's also showing me that it's about actually like flexing that muscle or that relationship between you and your guides and you and your higher self, because it's actually going to be needed more as the months and years go on. And they're actually showing me the first half of 2022, and that muscle of really being able to trust yourself and what you know to be true is going to be really, really, really important during that time. So it's actually really important that you start to work with that ability now so that it feels easy during that time, is what they're showing me. Okay, and then the last thing that I want to talk about, they showed me the words deeper knowing. So again, I think this is related to the first thing that I talked about with greater access is deeper knowing. You have the ability now to, it's almost like they're showing me like you sinking in, like you have the ability now to sink into this deeper knowing within yourself of what you know to be true, and to really trust that deeper knowing that you have. So it's not necessarily about what's up here. It's about the information that actually lives from your heart chakra down. They're showing me like this information that lives deep within you, that's part of your makeup, that's part of like your unique frequency and who you are. They're showing me that you're going to have greater access to that information, and this deeper knowing within yourself is going to be more readily available to you. Okay, so I am like so confused. I don't know if anyone can see this live or what is happening with it, but that's all the information I had to share today about the forecast. So if you're watching this on the replay, please let me know if this is resonating for you, if you're feeling this, or if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer. The other thing that I wanted to touch on is my event on Sunday, which is super powerful, and I'm really excited about it. So it's called the Pleiadian Imprint for the New Way of Living. And this is information that I've been getting a lot lately. Like, they really want me to talk about how we start living differently, like, and how we start engaging with our own energy differently and understanding the way energy works differently and using our energy to affect change in ourselves and on the planet. So, this event is where I'm really going to show you like how I work with these energies in order to live and engage with the world completely differently. So they keep showing me the word imprint, where it's like we're making a new imprint on how we live and dismantling this old way, and really starting to question like why we're doing things. Is it because it was passed down to us? Is it because we saw other people doing it? Is it because we think that's the only way? Or is there a better way? And that's what this new imprint is about. So it's going to be an energetic transmission, but I'm also